I think that I've just come to the conclusion that I suck at being a salesperson.
I see. Well,
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. I am a small reseller. I currently sell on eBay, Niknax, and also on Whatnot. If you haven't checked out my eBay or Niknax store, please do so. Links are in the description for both. And on Whatnot, every Saturday I do a live sale at 7 p.m. Central. The link for that upcoming show will be in the description as well. So on Saturday the 13th, 2 Saturdays ago, I had a live sale that went really well. I mean, in comparison to all of my previous live sales. And I had definitely, the few sales prior to the 13th, kind of hit a wall where I was selling maybe $10 worth of stuff, if not less. Hi, Theodore. He's wandering around doing Theodore things in a room he's not allowed to be in. So, hi, buddy. Hi. You're wet. You went outside. It's sprinkling out now, so. Anyways, so the few sales prior to the 13th, boy, don't even. Get back. That is glass. You looking for your arch nemesis? You think he's out there? I don't know. It's raining. Why don't you go sit in the hall? Go guard the hall. You're going to guard right here? Okay. You can guard right here. So, again, the few sales prior to the 13th, it was like very minimal to no sales during those. And I mean, that's fine. That's part of being new. That's part of getting going on it. It's to be expected. And not every sale is going to be a winner. I'd had a few sales prior to those that I was selling anywhere between $30 and $60 on average, before fees. And then the sale on the 13th went extremely well for some reason in comparison to the prior sales. We wound up with a total of like $125 in sales before fees, of course, again. But nonetheless, $125 in sales, and that was great. That was a good, inspiring experience for Whatnot, since I was kind of getting down in the dumps on the Whatnot experience and really starting to debate how much longer I want to continue trying to sell on Whatnot. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the idea of it, but the reality of it is that there's very few, if any, people in my live sale at any given time. I think the most I've ever had is maybe 8 or 9 at once. And, like last night for the 23rd, there was on average 1 to 2 people at any point, and it seemed as quick as people came in, they left. And that is totally fine. You are more than welcome to pop in, pop back out. That is totally fine. I'm just speaking on the fact that we literally made 0 sales last night. 0. With an hour, maybe slightly more, of a live stream going, and 0 sales. We did have 2 giveaways, and I'll show those to you real quick, because I'll be getting these boxed up here shortly. But one was a 1994 Barbie, still in package, still sealed, new old stock, but it was a Happy Meal Barbie. This one's Bicycling Barbie. And then the other one was Bride Barbie, and same thing, new in package, all the stuff. So we did those as giveaways last night. So 2 lucky people won these guys. But as far as any other actual sales, none. And I know it's going to be like that. I know it's going to go up and down some. Win some, lose some kind of thing, right? And that's fine. It's just, it feels like the vast majority of the sales that I do on Whatnot run a little bit more on that way. And so here's the thing. At the end of the sale, I go and I choose someone to raid. And the person I chose to raid, we entered her room, and I really didn't pay attention, to be honest with you, right off the bat. I just kind of like to select people that I haven't really selected before, and I kind of look at their name and try to the best of my ability to judge. Excuse me, there's nobody out there. Back. Back. That was the wrong way. Come back. No, 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 no. Come. You're like a delicate deer. Go to the hallway. Good Lord. Sit. Sit. Where was I? Theodore, you jerk. But I often don't even look at, like, I really don't look at anything other than maybe their name because I'm not familiar with them. And I just try to judge based on their name. Does it sound like they're along the same lines as me, right? And we'll go there. Well, so we go in the room, and she's got like 50 some people, you know, in there. And she seems to be selling. I didn't go through her old bin and everything. But it seemed to be, at least when we went in, she's selling very similar, if not some of the same exact things I am. Yet her room has 50 some people in it. So then I got to thinking, okay, so it's not just the fact that I'm just selling crap, you know, that nobody's interested in, because clearly people are. But I don't know what to do to help drive people to my sales. I was thinking, okay, maybe I do sales more often. And I could do that. I could start doing that. I originally started doing them twice a week, but with my husband's work schedule, and it's a little easier to have him here to help me to like pin product and stuff. But I can do it on my own, especially since I've got a lot of it preloaded now. So I could start doing that again, you know, and go back to 2-3 times a week and see if that helps. It's an option. But I don't know. I'm also just not a good salesman. Like, I could never have a job as a car salesman because I am not good at BSing. I am not good at lying. I am not here to sell you on something. If you buy something from me, it is because it is something that you like, you enjoy, and you want. I can give you all the information I know about it, but I'm in no way ever going to try to talk someone into something. There's other people I know that are very good at that. And in the world of sales, that is a big component of it. It's very cutthroat. There's no sorries. There's no please and thank yous. It's very cutthroat. And I'm just not built that way. And so I'm starting to wonder if part of my challenge is, as far as Whatnot and on live sales, am I just not cut out for it, maybe? I don't know. I started out being more front-facing with the camera, but I found it a little bit easier to not be front-facing. Like, I can kind of do more behind the scenes and stuff if the camera is focused on, you know, like the backdrop that I have for it. But did I have more people coming to my sales when I was front-facing? Yeah. So maybe I could do both. Maybe somehow I could swing both. I don't know. I've been trying to bring in more inventory, still small, more knick-knack type stuff, because again, with Whatnot, you got to be careful shipping wise. It gets a little bit hairy when you start getting over a pound and, you know, so big on things. So I've been trying to go through inventory that I have on eBay and stuff that I have downstairs even still that's not listed yet anywhere else, and trying to bring some of that stuff up, you know, like this little gal, you know, and you know, she's a little Japan piece. I think I might have showed her in a video, but just stuff like that, to bring a little bit more to it. I would be thrilled to start bringing in some of my more, I don't know what you'd say, high value or should sell for higher value items, because I don't want to sell them for $6 when they should sell for 30, 40, 50, 60. You know, I just don't. And I find that most of the sales that I do at Whatnot, since there's nobody really in the room, basically whatever the item, whatever I have the starting bid at is what it sells for, because there's nobody to bid against anybody. So everything I put on there, I pretty much put on there with the anticipation that it will sell for whatever that amount that I put is. And that's depressing, because it's supposed to be an auction, right? It's supposed to be where people get in and bid and everything. And I'm not saying that I need like some big bidding war to, you know, make a $20 item all of a sudden sell for $100. No. But it's that, could we get anywhere near that of what I should? Because I have to recoup my cost, you know. So you go back to the business side. And I hate that side of it, but it's a necessary side that you have to sit and think and work through. Because if it's not going to be worth it for me to sell it, and if I'm not recouping my money on what I've spent, and if I wind up spending more in packing materials and all that stuff to essentially be giving things away, then there's no point in continuing on the platform. And so I'm just kind of hitting that wall with it. And I don't know the rhyme or reason of how other people, other than, the only thing I can think of is that they're on there maybe every day, selling on there every day. That's probably the only thing I can think of, or at least multiple times a week or something. And so I'm kind of mulling over in my head if that's something I should try. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Hey y'all, it is a Sunday afternoon, Sunday the 24th, I believe, and I am going to head on over to Goodwill, the same Goodwill we visited last time, because I'll be honest with you, there's just not a whole lot of thrift stores within less than 30 minutes of a drive from me. And so we'll venture to some of those at some point, but for today we're going to go over to Goodwill and see what we can find. All right, guys, here we are at the Overland Park Goodwill. I will put the address on the screen for you. Let's go in and see what we can find. All right, right inside the door for $3.99, I saw this beautiful little teapot. I love the shape of it. I would have gotten it, but it came with no saucers, cups, any of that kind of stuff. I would imagine on eBay probably $30, $40 for it, but I have a lot of those to sell. I took a gander through the purses. This one here had frogs on it, which was adorable, but I didn't see anything that stood out. This little piece here was a contemporary piece. You can see the barcode on him. He is an Arizona tourist piggy bank. And then this little bunny bag. He was a ceramic bunny bag. I don't know what you use him for, but he was cute. So looking through the frames, I really didn't see a lot. Here was a more contemporary, probably made in China, art glass vase. I have a similar one, only mine is completely clear and quite a bit taller. So I didn't go ahead and bother picking this up, but they're neat bud vases. But I really didn't see much else. I took a walk down by the lamps. Everything was pretty contemporary, which is pretty common in this particular thrift store. You'll find a lot of contemporary lamps, but I did happen to one day find a set of contemporary lamps, and I'll show them to you in another video, that did turn out to be worth quite a bit of money. I do not know much at all about plush, guys. Right now, while you're staring at not what I'm messing with, it was one of those like sock-like dolls. On here, this is a different dog plate this time. I didn't see the one from last time, but I showed comps on those last time. And the Noel plate was still here. I still went ahead and left them. This plate here is beautiful. It's a left-in piece. The mark on the back makes me think it was the 50s. Hand painted, 100%, orchids on it. Absolutely gorgeous. I could see that selling for between $20 and $30. They had $3.99 on it. I have a lot of plates to sell, guys. It's not that there's not money to be made on pieces like this, but it's not a ton of money. And when you have the sort of inventory back home like I do, you pass by certain things. This here's a more contemporary UNESCO piece. It was early 90s, I think. It was a single teapot. They wanted $5.99 for it. Again, I have a lot of teapots. This was kind of interesting. It caught my eye. It's Victorian style, but it's all transfer print. It would have been really cool if it was hand painted. I probably would have gotten it if it was hand painted. But they did want $8 on it. It's a made in China piece. It's more contemporary, trying to look antique. I went through the mugs. The only one I found that I actually kind of liked was this one, because, well, that's true. It was 99 cents. It was in good condition, but I don't know. It kind of looked like a Ray Dunn piece to me, but I don't know. I feel like Ray Dunn pieces are usually more matte. They're not so glossy, but I don't know much about Ray Dunn, so I could be totally wrong on that. That cup down there, I think, goes to that teapot. Oh, but I look at these cups. These ones are vintage. I think they're Italian. They, of course, on every single one covered the stamp on the base up with the sticker, but I think they were Italy. They wanted, I don't know, $1.99 a piece, but as you saw, you know, several of them have chips on the rim of them and everything, so I didn't mess with that. Here's some geisha gals. This would have been, I don't know, a soap dish or maybe a salt and pepper shaker like set piece. Here was another little miniature plate. They do have age to them. They just weren't terribly well painted, to be honest with you. It was pretty sloppy looking. They also had chips and cracks. I, of course, was drawn over to this Majolica looking frog. I'm sure he's more contemporary, but I don't care. He was a frog and he was flipping cute, so I had to check him out. There was another like frog planter, and you see the other frog guy there. I think he was a planter. They were adorable, but they were contemporary. This here is going to be like a Hager or a Hull piece, but as you can tell, it was broken and put back together, which is fine, but I'm not going to pick it up. This is a Fitz and Floyd piece, 1991, I believe it said on there. It did have some chips on the spouts, though. I'm not sure what that particular one runs for. I haven't looked up comps on it, but some can be worth good money. Some go for average. Some go for hardly anything. So it's definitely a do your homework kind of game with Fitz and Floyd. A lot of contemporary artwork. I just love these old style maps. This is not old at all. This is not old, but it's done in the old world style. And I really, really like that about it. I want to say they had $10 or something on it. And I thought about it, but I don't have anywhere to put it. And I don't have any reason to spend $10 on it right now. In this little section is pretty much what they had in the way of figurines. This isn't marked, but I imagine he is an UNESCO piece or something. This dude, he was cool. I'm pretty positive he's made of Hydra stone. He was heavy. He was heavy. He could be a doorstop. He was heavy. I saw these poker chips sitting here, and they kind of have this look to them like the old school, older chips. And they probably do have a little bit of age on them, but as you can see on the bottom, you can see the barcode there. So you know they're not anywhere older than the 70s. And I imagine they're quite a bit newer than that even. I did happen to come across this fire escape. I I think they wanted $8 or $10 for it. I thought about getting it. I honestly did. You just never know. Okay, so that trip was a big fat nothing. But that's how it goes sometimes. I thought since we're already this far into town, we might swing by another one. So let's head that way. Okay, so the direction I'm parking, you can't really see the building, but we are at City Thrift, still in Overland Park. I will put a picture of it and the address up on the screen for you. And let's go in here and see what we can find. Okay, so I have not been to this thrift store in 3 years, I find out when I get to the checkout. But we start here with these little guys. I knew they were contemporary, but I don't know why. I had to check them out for some reason. A lot of floral things. I didn't see a whole lot in the way of vases. This is a super cute little Relpo, I believe, planter. It was in pristine condition, but I kept having to double take on this. They wanted $9.99 for it, and I get it. It was in great condition, but it's hard to sell them already, and that's a high price for a basic planter. There wasn't a whole lot cups and plates wise, but I did see these. I believe they were Spode bowls, and they were in good condition, but I passed them. And these are Mikasa little cooking pots. And then I saw this Gorham Japan figural music box. It's hummingbirds, porcelain. I could not find damage on it anywhere. I checked it thoroughly. And the bottom looked in good shape. And I knew it worked because every so often it would make music while riding in the cart. This was a really cool plate. It looks like it had some age to it. I really thought about picking it up. They wanted $4.99 for it. I'm not sure how old it actually was, but this is one of those, what are they called? Singing dolls. She was ceramic and she had a sticker on her bottom that said made in China, so I did not pick her up. These were cute pieces, but I didn't pick them up either. This was a little creamer sugar set, but I think the sugar was missing its lid, so I left those. This is a Lennox special edition. It was either early 90s or late 80s Mother's Day vase. They honestly don't carry too much of a value. It's usually $15 to $20, $25. I went ahead and left it. It was in really good condition though. Next, here is a Hummel music box. I do have one similar to this, and they do tend to have, I want to say it's like Swiss mechanics in it. Am I saying that right? But if you open it up, which I was struggling with doing, you'll see on the inside there's like a teeny tiny little pocket for jewelry or something, and then the mechanics of it are on the other side there. These are some Homeco Denim Days pieces. We'll talk about those a little bit later, but I did go ahead and get them. I didn't realize at first that the one that has 2 people on it did have a little bit of damage. The handle on it was broken, but they did give me a slight discount. This was a more contemporary, it looked like, maybe Christmas set. This was Sengo. Sengo can do pretty good. Another one you want to look up though. I have a little ashtray that goes with Knott's Berry Farm. I thought about picking this up. If it had been maybe $1, I would have. And I have cups that match these, and I should have probably grabbed one of them because I think I have 3 and I'm missing one. This here is neat. I have something similar listed on eBay and Niknax. It's a porcelain or ceramic piece. It was engraved sort of on the back by whoever made it, I'm sure. But it also normally has another piece that goes with it, which would be the bowl. This was a lattice sort of basket, porcelain basket, but it had some damage. This was a false graph, nightlight. There were little people inside there. I'm not sure what it goes for. This thing, I don't know what he does. He makes noise. He kind of freaked me out a little bit. He had some damage to his face, like some staining and stuff. I'm not sure how well I showed that, but I also don't know what the hell he is, so. Some more lamps here. Okay, now this piece here. This could be an original, authentic piece, but in my experience, I feel on the inside and it feels very smooth, almost machine made. The outside of it also, I'm just not seeing the handprints. Usually the artwork, even though it looks a little chaotic, it's still usually more symmetrical for authentic pieces. And I am not an expert on this. This is just, based off of what I've read, off of pieces that I personally have purchased and looked at, but definitely do your research. Okay, so there's a reason that I don't generally try to, oh, there's the thrift store. I don't generally try to talk crap on the thrift store, especially before I go into it, usually because I feel like it's bad juju. But this is a thrift store that I really rarely came to, ever. And the reason being is, way back in the day, they were awesome. And then they went through like a management change. And I mean, as you'll see in the video, like there was that, what was it, Relpo or whatever, and it was a nursery planner type thing, and it was in pristine condition, it was in great condition, but they wanted $10 for it. It's a nursery planner. They're hard enough to sell on eBay alone. I just can't see anybody, as a reseller anyhow, going and paying that for it, and you find a lot of that kind of stuff here. But that being said, we still found some stuff. We'll take a look at it when we get to the house. All right, so hopefully you guys can all see this pretty well. Not Christmas presents, but that's what they had at the store to wrap these with. Let's see here. All right. So this first one, it wasn't priced, but the gal was nice enough to price it for me at $3.99. So this one here, he's dusty. I will need to go clean him off, but I couldn't, we're gonna start talking already. I couldn't find any damage to the birds, to the petals, on the flowers, to their beaks, wings, tails, nothing, just dust. And well, I can take care of dust. He is a Gorham made in Japan from the gift world of Gorham. All right, so he is a music box. I won't crank him up right now, but he does play. It doesn't say what he plays, but we'll crank him up when we're done with looking at the others. So there's the first guy there. I will try and show you guys some comps on these. All right, so this one here, well, it's got this wicked tape on it. Let me grab scissors. All right, we're in business. Okay. So this little piece here that I had found is it's a Beatrix Potter piece, circa 2000. What does it say there? Not a whole lot. Michael and Company. It was made in China, the world of Beatrix Potter, Frederick Warren. But what I liked about it, and when I paid $2.99 for him, what I liked about him was that he looked intact. All the petals, all this stuff, cabbage maybe is what that is, I don't know. But then he's got all these little sleeping bunnies. And so my original thought was this might be a cool giveaway gift during a whatnot sale. So we'll see. But I picked it up sort of with that in mind. But it's just a cool gift box, no damage. When I'm out and about, I generally don't look anything up while I'm out and about. I just don't. These guys, these next two items I picked up, this one was $3.99. All right. And she's dusty. Okay. I'm going to show you the bottom first, really. All right, so you notice that it says Denim Days Home Co. and 1985 Home Interiors. It's number 1504, crafted in Taiwan. And it's just this adorable little girl with her teddy bear and her little plant. I don't know what the plant has to do with anything, but adorable. And you notice she's, of course, wearing traditional denim. Hence the name, Denim Days. However, the other day when I was looking through Homeco pieces, I honestly was not terribly familiar with Denim Days Homeco, but these guys sell for pretty good money. And again, I didn't take the time to look them up, but she was $2.99. So I thought probably worth the gamble on her. All right, he was $6.99. I was able to get a little discount on everything, but also on him. And the reason being was well, as you can see, they're sitting on like this little hay cart sort of thing. And here's the handle for it. And this would have had, you know, like the handle right here. Nonetheless, this is another Denim Days Home Co. This one is 1985, number 1529, crafted in China. It was such a shock to me of what they tend to sell for that it stuck in my brain that I recognized Denim Days before I even had to turn it over. And that's how that sometimes works for me. Are the pieces I picked up worth buku money? I don't know. Again, when I'm out in the store, I generally don't look things up. It's very crowded in there. There's a lot going on. I just don't. I don't enjoy crowds. There's a lot of energy that floats around that it makes me uncomfortable, and I like to go in, and if it's nice and quiet and not crowded, I could stay for hours. If it's crowded, I kind of want to get in and out. I just don't like it. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like it. It makes me feel drained later. So anyways, I don't spend a lot of time dilly-dallying, looking things up. The more you sell, the more comfortable you'll start to get with kind of doing things like that, like going with your gut, because you've seen it before. And the other trick is also, like, you know, if this was $12, I would not have picked it up. I just wouldn't have, especially with the damage on it. Certainly not. You know, if she'd been damaged, I wouldn't have picked her up. If any of these had really been damaged more so than what this one was, I wouldn't have picked them up, despite how cheap I got them, because you still have to factor in what you're paying for the item, the packing materials, what it's going to cost you to ship it, whether the buyer's paying shipping or not. You know, the seller still has cost on their end for shipping. So, which is my cost to do business. I take that on as part of my business. Not everybody runs things that way, and that's totally fine. But I thought I'd go ahead and share with you guys what I found on our little venture. I'm going to get these guys cleaned up, and I'll get them photographed and, you know, listed and everything. And I will try to find comps to show you guys on these too. Home Co. Denim Days Collection 1985. Pretty collectible one. Look out for it. I do think this one, it got 2 bids. $10.50 was the total. I think that was low, Halloween style. This one has the little girl that I found in it, $17.50. That must have been her little buddy. This one, again, I think was too low. Halloween, holiday, should have been higher. Same thing with this. I'm just surprised that they sold as low as they did. I can see it with these ones, these more standard, you know, barnyard, farmhouse sort of style. I get it. You can see if you get a lot of them, you can obviously up the price a little bit more. Kind of wanted to show you that. And then you get into the Christmas ones. And Christmas in particular is pretty much where it's at. They are adorable, obviously, but they also sell pretty well. This one I can't figure out. It sold February 15th for $19.99, but then you'll notice same backdrop, $280 it sold for on February 29th. I'm not sure. But right now I'm going to get busy wrapping up the packages that need to go out for tomorrow, and I will check back in with you when we're done. All right, guys, so I have a quick interruption. Excuse this broadcast interruption, or however it went. But I just got a sale on this gorgeous necklace that I listed a few days ago. Yeah, so see, it has these kind of paper link sort of chain links on it, and then it has these really cool, like, little dimpled faux pearls here with these gold tone beads. Spacers, I think, maybe, is what they call that in the jewelry world. But really cool, really long necklace. I can't remember the exact length off the top of my head, but I will put the info on the screen for you guys. But super gorgeous necklace. It sold, I believe, for $34, I think. So I will add it to the pile of what we're getting wrapped up this evening, and we'll get it sent out.